Welcome back. I finally finished the rock foundation. Oof. If I could do it again, I would do it differently, but this is what we got done. So so the rock is all the way around now. I can finally start to think about how I'm going to do the concrete foundation. This time around, I'm going to spend some more time thinking about what I'm about to do. So I'm going to go into town, get some more materials, rest my hands because they feel like noodle. So yeah, let's go into town, let's get some materials, and let's start to form the concrete foundation. Once that's done, then I can do the floor. Once the floor is done, I can start to do the walls basically. And once I do the walls, I can also start to do the entryway and then the windows. Yeah, so a lot of fun stuff coming up. See you later. So I got the rebar in on the ground, and now what I'm going to do is use the pieces of rebar I was cutting to keep these somewhat the same distance apart from each other. So about 6 inches is what I'm aiming for. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So this is my compass. I want to keep the rebar like halfway between this, if you can imagine a line right here. I want to keep it like 3 inches on this side and then 3 inches on that side. So if I tie the rebar right here, that'll be about perfect. Okay, so I got the rebar in. That was way harder than I thought it was going to be. The rebar does not want to bend, or it's got a certain bend that it doesn't want to bend inward. It wants to go out. So anytime I pull like the slack of this side, that side pulled in. So it was a real pain in the butt to do this, but it's not pretty, but it's gonna work, I think. So it rained all of yesterday, so I didn't get to come here. But today, so far, I laid out the rebar, and the next step is to cut out the forms for the foundation, the round foundation. So basically, here's what I'm gonna do. I have these planks of wood, and they're about 25 centimeters, and that's more or less the minimum depth of the concrete. The concrete has to be 22 centimeters or longer. So right now I have it measured at roughly 24, 25. So the circumference of this outer, the outer part of the foundation and the circumference of the inner part are different. It's about 17 meters on the outside, and the circumference here is about 14 something. I forgot what the calculation was. So basically that means that since I'm making a modular sort of form work, instead of making the form work for the entire circumference already of the dome, the foundation, I cut out about 6 of these lengths. They're about half a meter long, these planks. About 6 of them. I'm going to cut them to about 42.5 centimeters each, so that as I'm going around the circle, the outside is longer, the inside is shorter. And it's not going to be perfect. It won't be a perfect circle. I'm cutting them at like a 5-degree angle, because when they are, you can't really tell with this plank, but it's cut at about a 5-degree angle, so that when you put them together, they fit a little bit better, like this. Yeah, you can see a little bit this way. I think I can start the foundation today, the concrete at least. I'm not gonna do one giant pour. I think I'll split it into like 2-3 days, since I am maybe 4 days, since I am going to be mixing it in the bucket, in the I'm going to be mixing it in the wheelbarrow. So yeah, let's get started. Let's go ahead and cut some wood. Okay, so the forms are starting to go in. You can kind of see a little bit of a curve happening, which is exactly what we want. Okay, so now we have a more of a curve. So the plan is that every time I finish a section, all I do is pick up that section and then move it over. And yeah, do it that way, I guess. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so it looks like it's one mix is one frame, and there are 34 frames. Each mix takes about a half hour, so this might take me 2-3 days of just mixing and doing this, but I don't mind it. It's pretty fun. So let's keep going. Let's make more mix. Okay, here's the moment of truth. I'm going to remove the forms from yesterday and see what they look like. Oh yeah. Not bad at all, not bad at all. Not too bad. I wish I didn't pour such a thick layer, but I had no choice, I don't think. Okay. So here's the final product for now. I'm gonna clean this up a bit before it really dries, and then I did one pour there, and I'm gonna continue. So I think I have about a quarter, maybe a quarter of the way there. So let's keep going. So it's starting to form here. I'm one more pour away from being halfway. It's not bad for a day and a half currently. So yeah. I'm about to I'm about to pour this side. There's a cow that's making a lot of noise all day long, even yesterday. So let's go see if we can find out what's going on. Yeah, just what I suspected. It's a calf, baby cow, and it's calling for its mother. And that's very common for them to do here. They'll slowly wean the calf off the mother, and so that, you know, they start introducing grass and whatever, because they're trying to milk the cow, and the calf usually very hungry, so it'll eat most of the, will drink most of the cow milk, his mother's milk. So it's kind of sad. It's calling for its mom, but I guess that's just how it is here. Alright, so let's continue with the pour. Little update on my wheelbarrow. The tires came off, or the tire came off, and now it's got just the rim on it. So it's just, I'm using it like a bucket. It's really kind of useless at this point. I'll have to get another tire. And then my stumper, not sure where it went, but yeah, my stumper basically broke. Here it is. The stumper broke. It was a mistake to make it out of wood, the handle. So the next one I make, I'll make it out of like a pipe or something, a metal pipe, so that it doesn't break. So, but for now, all the stumping is all done for now, so I don't really need one right now. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so that's about halfway for the pour, and that's about 6, 12. It was about 12, 13 mixes, and each mix is about, with mixing, pouring, leveling, it's about 45 minutes, and then I take about an hour break, 15-minute break. So every time I make it, it's about an hour. But yeah, I think that's where this video is gonna end. Thank you for watching. The next video, hopefully I'll have the whole foundation poured, and yeah, and then we'll rock and roll from there. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.